What's up, all my Ewoks, triples, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how instead of actually listening to fans' criticism, the Rings of Power show decided to call everyone racist. And that's the world we live in now. But before we get into the topic, guys, my channel is Hardcore Shadow Banned here on YouTube, so every single like, share, comment really helps out my channel fighting the pesky YouTube algorithms. And if you guys haven't already, maybe take a minute, smash the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. Make sure that bell is set to all, that way you actually get notifications when I post videos and live streams. And with that being said, let's get on to the topic. All right, everyone, so I have Twitter pulled up, so this is where everything is going on. So this is the Lord of the Rings of Power, because it's the Rings of Power on Prime account. So it says, we stand in solidarity with our cast, hashtag you are all welcome here. And then they put these little messages. We, the cast of Rings of Power, stand together in absolute solidarity and against the relentless racism, threats, harassment, and abuse some of our castmates of color are being subjected to on a daily basis. We refuse to ignore or tolerate it. J.R.R. Tolkien created a world which, by definition, is multicultural, a world in which free peoples from different races and cultures join together in fellowship to defeat the forces of evil. Rings of Power reflects that. Our world has never been all white. Fantasy has never been all white. Middle Earth is not all white. BIPOC people or belong in Middle Earth, and they are here to stay. Finally, our love and fellowship going out to the fans supporting us, especially the fans of color who are themselves being attacked simply for existing in the fandom. We see you, your bravery and endless creativity, your cosplays, fan cams, fan art, and insights makes this community a richer place and remind us of our purpose. You are valid, you are loved, and you belong. You are an integral part of the Lord of the Rings family. Thanks for having our backs. Well, that was a lot. Notice how it's like no valid criticism. And here's my thing that drives me crazy is they never give examples. They never show receipts of said racism, because I guarantee you it would just be a few little internet trolls and everyone would be like, yo, that's an internet troll. Nobody is saying these things. But look who responded. This official Star Wars account, Star Wars Andor premieres on September 21st on Disney+. From Middle Earth to a galaxy far, far away. Hashtag you are all welcome here. Now I just like to say, I haven't seen anyone that says otherwise. There's people that are pointing out valid criticisms, like things don't actually make sense. Like specifically with the dwarves, it's like if you live down in caves, like your skin isn't getting the sun on it, obviously, because you're living down in caves. So it wouldn't make sense to have darker skinned people as dwarves. Like that just doesn't make sense. If anything, they're going to be as pale as all heck because they're not out in the sun. So I mean, and that's a valid criticism. I don't think that is racist in any way, shape, or form. It's just science, right? But they want to virtue signal. I guarantee you they had this all written up before the show even came out. Now here is my friend Yellow Flash. Also, guys, this is me on Twitter. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter, go and do so. It's that Star Wars Girl 77. It's the one with the blue check mark. But so my friend Yellow Flash makes a good point here. So I think that this is a quote tweet, So Weaponized Nerd Rage says, I guarantee you this was written before. Yeah, I guarantee it too. The show even debuted. It's all part of the plan, because that's what they're doing. And Yellow Flash makes an excellent point. Why are these racists ignoring House of the Dragon? LOL. Excellent point. House of the Dragon is a show, on HBO Max. It's the prequel to Game of Thrones. They have, people of color in that show, and no one's complaining about it because it's a good show. And what's funny is they've released their numbers for the streaming services. Look at the difference. So House of the Dragon premiered, had 4.8 million people watch it. People were pretty hyped up for this show, which is funny because after the ending of Game of Thrones, people were like, oh, fuck this. And then look at only 1.8 million U.S. households watched the debut episodes of Lord of the Rings during the first 4 days available to stream. That's because word of mouth got a hold of it, and people, said, hey, this is your pilot. Usually the pilot episodes are pretty goddamn good because they're setting up the tone for the universe. And when I was on Flashcast, I made this argument. because Lofty was going off on on one of his little tangents. But it's like, okay, how do you have a good show that's a spinoff of another show that, still introduces, new characters, maybe has some old characters, but has some new characters, but it's different. Now, my argument with that was Stargate Atlantis. Stargate Atlantis is a spinoff of, there was the Stargate movie, then after the movie came out, they made the TV show Stargate SG-1, and then they made the spinoff Stargate Atlantis. The pilot episode of Stargate Atlantis is fan-fucking-tastic. Now, even if you haven't watched SG-1, like, there might be, like, characters that you don't know, but they do a good job of explaining who everyone is, who the universe, and basically, they have this new technology, they have this Stargate address, or Daniel figures it out so that way they can go to Atlantis. They go to the Pegasus Galley knowing that they can't come back because once they get to the other side, they're not going to have enough power to get back. You luck out with Shepard being able to, have the ancient, now you guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not going to get into this. Well, they need a person that has a certain type of gene to power this, and the people that have this gene aren't comfortable doing it because it's, more of a military thing. They happen to get a guy who's extremely talented, who happens to have the gene and wasn't supposed to be on the expedition, go with them. Then they accidentally run into the bad guys. They see how evil the bad guys are, and it sets the tone for the rest of the season and basically the rest of the show. And it's a really great episode of a show that's a spin-off of an already popular show. So Rings of Power, it's not like this hasn't been done before. And look, even right now, as this show is coming out, there is another show that has people of color in it that is successful, and people like it. Look, you even have the actor thanking the fans because he's so overwhelmed by all the support he's getting. So like Yellow Flash said, if there's all of a sudden all of these racists going and bashing on the people in the Lord of the Rings show, where are they? Because it's funny how Rings of Power isn't getting the same treatment. You know why? Because Rings of Power is a good fucking show. Like, I'm very intrigued by the show, and I was very pleasantly shocked because the way that Game of Thrones season 8 ended, it's like, well, there's no hope. But them going back in time and, when the Targaryens actually have some power, they got dragons, there's a lot of them, and if you know the history and if you've read the books, and there's something pretty epic coming, and it's going to be really interesting to see that play out. But I did see some people in the beginning criticize that this sorry, I'm getting like a weird cough right now, but it's probably like a summer cold, which I sincerely hope that's not what's happening right now. But no, I did see people criticizing him, and it wasn't for what you think. It had nothing to do with his skin color, although I did see, one person, asking questions because they thought that he was a Targaryen. It's like, no, he's from Valyria, which is where the Targaryens are from, and so he's from like the same part of the world as them, and he, his family came over, but he's not Targaryen, his wife is Targaryen, so there was that little mishap. But no, it was his voice that people were complaining about because everyone else has like British accents, and then he like kind of stands out because he's got a very he has a very pleasant voice, but his accent is very different than everyone else's, so that was what stood out the most. And that's what I saw people talking about. They're like, wow, everything's like so like you're in the world and the universe, and then this guy's got like a very modern voice, and it's like, what? But again, that has nothing to do with his ethnicity. So people going and saying that shit, it's like, come on. Like I said earlier, there's always going to be trolls, and you really can't help that. It's the internet. There's going to be people that support you no matter what, that are like die hard. They don't care if like what you make is shit. They're going to support you. And there's people that are the exact opposite, that are going to talk shit and say like some of the most vile things you could possibly imagine. That is why we call them trolls. You ignore them, you laugh at them, and you move on, right? Like, look, all you have to do is make a good show. Look at how happy he is. And like I said earlier, look at the reception that House of the Dragon, sorry, I'm getting the hiccups, that's what it is, that House of the Dragon got compared to Rings of Power. You know why? Because one show is significantly fucking better than the other one. One actually has a story. The other one is like, let's do things extremely slowly. Let's not let anything happen. And oh yeah, the main character who is white, let's make her an unlikable cunt. That's a great idea. So this whole Rings of Power thing, it's like, no one's really complaining about any of the people of color in the show. But you know what something is? Every single person I know is complaining about this chick, the blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl. So you really want to call people racist? Like, oh my gosh, stop. You know what kind of blows my mind is how Hollywood thinks that just now, only now, do they finally have people of color in movies. It's like, when I was a kid, 3 of the most popular freaking actors were Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, and Will Smith. And those like guys were like blockbuster freaking gold, right? I mean, Eddie Murphy, who doesn't like Eddie Murphy? Will Smith, well, now it's a little bit different. Homeboy, I'm sorry, you know. Ooh, made some bad life decisions there, Will. But Will was great when I was a kid. Men in Black was coming out. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was the shit. And Denzel Washington's probably one of the best actors of all time. So saying that, oh, yeah, all y'all are racist. It's like, really, that's funny. When I was a kid, this wasn't a problem. Funny how that is. No, they only like to hide behind racism when their show is actually bad and getting actual criticism. But they don't want to hear any criticism because remember, they're Hollywood people. They can do no wrong. Everything that they made is God's freaking gift to earth. They don't fucking care. So it's like, oh my God, this thing that I made that in my mind I deem perfect, people are criticizing it. Oh my God, they must be racist. Let's hide behind people of color. Let's use them as human shields and hide behind them. And, you know, anything that we did that's wrong, we are going to, you know, just sweep it under the rug. And we're just going to say, oh, you guys just hate it because you're racist. Not because we've actually done anything wrong. It's pretty fucking pathetic. And I mean, it's so disrespectful because they're literally just using people of color as human shields and props. It's so fucking insulting, and it kind of blows my mind that the media just decides to ignore it, which is why people like me and, you know, other people here on YouTube exist, because we're calling out this bullshit, because it is 100% bullshit. And it blows my mind I mean, the way things are now. I mean, can you guys think, if you guys can, please let me know down in the comment section below, can you guys think of like a mainstream news outlet that's, you know, actually criticized this? Everything I've seen has been praising it. And I mean, I'm not talking about like some random article out there. I mean like a very mainstream, like the New York Times, like something very, you know, substantial, like Variety, that, you know, these people actually listen to, because all I've seen is them praising the ground that they walk on. And it's like, are you guys blind? Really? But anyways, everyone, before I continue rambling too much, let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section below. If you guys haven't already, please smash the like button and ring that bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all. That way you actually get notifications when I post videos and live streams. And guys, every single like, share, comment really helps out my channel fighting the pesky YouTube algorithm. So I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for all of your support. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really going to need it. Bye, everyone. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much again for supporting my channel and my content. And if you guys would like to support me further, my cosplay calendar, my gamer edition cosplay calendar, is live still now on Indiegogo for a limited time only. We were very successful in the campaign, and we are currently in demand. In demand is only going to be up for a limited time only, so be sure to go check it out before we take this down. And guys, once again, thank you so much for this. If you guys want to go and back this campaign, the link is down below in the description of this video, and make sure that you guys check it regularly, because I do add updates on there and more photos are coming soon. So thank you guys. Also guys, I do have 2 different Instagram accounts. I have one where I post my artwork, where I do painting streams over on my art channel, and then I re-upload them onto my art Instagram as little time lapses. So if you are interested in art and my painting process, that's the place to go. The link is in the description description of this video, as well as my main Star Wars Girl Instagram. And on here, I post a lot of my cosplays that were not seen on the actual campaign page. So go check them out if you guys haven't already, and give me a follow. And last but not least, guys, I have a Twitch that I am trying to go. I am at 5.7K followers right now, and I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. So if you guys haven't gone and followed me over on Twitch, go and do so now. The link is in the description of this video. I play a lot of games on here like Elden Ring and KOTOR, so go check it out if you haven't already. And that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.